We'll begin at this point to take your closing comments and what you think can be done. Now, by the way, there is also an issue. Yes, we're driving exports. But again, on the flip side, we say, how does Nigeria balance this focus on domestic market development against export, so we don't run into a situation where we produce everything and
then
goes.
export it.
and there's nothing. You know, on a much smaller scale, we saw something like that happen with agricultural produce at one point in time. The farmers were making more money across the borders, and everything was going, and the domestic market was starved.
Okay, so I think the first thing we also need to do is to increase capacity. Because yes, we are trying to promote export, but we also need to ensure that if we were doing 1,000 metric tons in terms of production, we have to put mechanisms in place to ensure that we now increase to 2,000. Because the ideal thing is that you export your excess, not export the main thing that people would eat. Otherwise, what you will do is you feed other people and then you have nothing down here to eat, right? So one of the things that needs to be done is for states, because there are a lot of states that have idle arable land. Nigeria has up to 76 million arable land, and we've not even used up to 30%. And the question is, if we continue to rely on smallholder farmers who do one season, only rain-fed agriculture, the question is, how are we ever going to be food sufficient? The only reason why people are exporting is because they need forex. And the country is promoting export because the country also needs forex. But the question is, how do we now ensure that what happened with onions, which happened in Sokoto and the rest, does not happen with other products, where people will no longer be able to find availability of that product to even eat, not talk of to export. So one of the things that I would advocate will be states should now begin to open up lands, because one of the inhibition when it comes to agriculture is land opening. Being able to open up land for people to go in. So if, for instance, a state like Kebbi State, for instance, decides, look, we will take 1,000 hectares as a state, we will open up the land, maybe in collaboration with all these people building estates, to have like a farm estate where they would open up the land, they will put irrigation so that we're able to do 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and all of that, especially for crops that maybe is 120 days gestation or cropping cycle and all of that. And then that way we're able to have sufficient product to eat within Nigeria and export, and then they will be able to use even common facilities like mechanization and, you know, expertise in terms of agronomists and all of that that needs to be part of it.